Hey, Lindsay. Lindsay's always on time. I love it. Hey, Mom. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about healthy snack ideas. I'm going to wait another minute or so and see if anybody else joins in. There is a PDF that I uploaded into the Google Drive file today that does, it's a list of all the different healthy snack ideas. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and you can open that up to follow along. Dad wants healthy dessert ideas, okay? Or just dessert ideas, not healthy desserts. All right, welcome to tonight's Facebook Live coaching session. This is our second last Facebook Live as part of the 5-day challenge. Tomorrow night will be our last one. Tonight we're talking about healthy snack ideas. I'm hoping this will help some of you guys out. Some of you were mentioning that you were not feeling quite full between meals. So hopefully these healthy snack ideas that are meant to not only be healthy, but to be satisfying and help fill you up and keep you full. Hopefully these give you some ideas of things that you can pack and you can take for work. Some of these things as well, they would work for kind of a pre-workout snack or even a post-workout snack as well. So before we dive into the different snack ideas that I have, I just want to talk about what makes a good snack. So similar to what makes a good meal, a healthy snack should be made up of a good protein source and a healthy fat source. Those are the two most important things to consider when making a snack or putting things together to make snacks. And then in addition to the protein source and the healthy fat source, you can also add in a good carbohydrate source. So a good carbohydrate source would be something that's whole grain and something that is, slower digesting, or for some of you, that'd be some things that are gluten-free, like rice crackers or rice cakes, which I have in a couple of the different snack ideas here. So with that being said, when you're putting your snacks together, you want to include that protein source. Protein sources are anything like yogurt, Greek yogurt, kefir or kefir, depending on how you want to pronounce it, cottage cheese, protein shakes, protein bars, even some nut butter dips like peanut butter. Those also contain protein as well. Another protein source would be almonds, cashews, or just trail mix in general. So those are different types of protein sources. And then you want to include a healthy fat source. So a healthy fat source could be almond butter, peanut butter, sunflower seed butter, guacamole, hummus, anything kind of like that has some fats in it, or a little bit of olive oil. If you're going to make, you can drizzle it sometimes over some crackers or some different things like that. Even cheese would be a fat source as well. You just want to make sure with cheese that you're not overdoing it, because there's lots of calories in cheese. So, you know, it's easy, of course, to overeat cheese. So you want to make sure if cheese is your healthy fat source, that you're not eating a ton of it. And then some good carbohydrate sources, like I mentioned, would be anything that's whole grain, like a whole wheat English muffin, rice cakes, or rice crackers. So let's dive into some of the different snack ideas that I put together. The first one at the top of the list, and you can follow along with the PDF that I uploaded into the Google Drive file today. It's just called Healthy Snack Ideas. The first one would be to combine veggie sticks. So that could be any type of veggie or any combination of veggies, such as bell peppers, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, cucumber sticks, zucchini, really any types of vegetables, with either some hummus, some guacamole, or a Greek yogurt dip, like tzatziki as well. So that gives you a little bit of a protein source in the dip, especially if you go with hummus or the Greek yogurt. And then you're also getting some healthy fats in there with the if you choose the guacamole, and then veggies as well, you're getting some carbohydrates and some fiber, as well as, of course, a lot of nutrients. Or instead of doing dips, you could do cheese. So that's one of my favorite combinations, is just some veggie sticks and then a dip or cheese to go with it. That usually, I'm not a big veggie before lunch type of person. So for me, that would be more like an afternoon snack that I would have between my lunch and my dinner. The second snack that I have, which is probably my favorite snack of all time, would be apples sliced up with some kind of nut butter. So either peanut butter, almond butter, pumpkin seed butter, sunflower seed butter. You're going to be getting there with the apple. You're getting some good carbohydrates from the fruit. You're also getting fiber as well if you leave the skin on. And then you're getting some healthy fats, and as well as a little bit of protein from the nut butter. Or you can sub the nut butter for some cheese as well. One thing that you can do for your lunches is in the morning, you can slice up an apple into 8 different slices, and then you can put it in a little bit of container. And then I usually just sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on top of it. Sometimes I also throw in a little bit of cinnamon as well. Put the lid on the container, just kind of shake it up a little bit so that the lemon juice coats the apples. And then I'll put in a separate container some peanut butter, for example, and I'll take that. And I really like having that as a mid-morning snack. The apple and peanut butter also makes a really good post-workout snack, because you're getting some fuel from the apple, plus it's sustainable energy that you're getting from the apple mixed with the nut butter source. Snack number 3 would be to just mix some Greek yogurt with some berries. You could also mix, it could be non-Greek yogurt as well, or kefir. Kefir is very high in probiotics. It has more probiotics in it than Greek yogurt does. President's Choice makes a really good dairy-free kefir. It's made with coconut milk. So if you're trying to avoid dairy, or if you just want to, switch it up a little bit, the coconut milk one is a little tangy because of the coconut that's in it. So if coconut's not really your thing, you can definitely taste it. So you might want to just stick with the regular kefir. When it comes to things like yogurts and kefir, you want to avoid the sweetened ones, the artificially sweetened ones. And even if it's sweetened with natural flavors, that's a lot of added sugar. So my suggestion would be for you just to stick with the plain ones, and then you add your own berries to give you that flavor. You can mix in a little bit of jam if you'd like, or a little bit of peanut butter, something like that to give it flavor. Even the vanilla flavored ones usually pack a lot of sugar in them. So it's just best for you and for your waistline to stick with just the plain, and then you can add your own. You can, even if you really want vanilla, you can add your own vanilla into it as well. And then with that, you would just put in like a handful of strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, or a combination of mixed berries. Or like I said, you could also stir in a little bit of jam as well to flavor it that way. Next up, we have tuna. You can mix the tuna with a little bit of olive oil. So tuna, you're getting your protein sources, also some healthy fats. You're getting your healthy fat with the olive oil. Mix that together and you can put it on rice crackers. Of course, can season the tuna up any way that you would like. You could just do salt and pepper. You could do some spicier seasonings or some Italian seasonings. Mix it up and then just put it on rice crackers. Rice crackers are great. They're gluten-free and they're pretty easy to digest as well. Excuse me. All right, and then next up would probably be my second favorite snack that I like to do. And that would be 1 to 2 plain rice cakes with some, or I did write in this one as well, I kind of combined 2 snack ideas, 1 or 2 rice cakes and an English muffin with 1 to 2 tablespoons of nut or seed butter spread on top, or I did add in the nuts and more butter. So nuts and more butter is a combination. It's basically protein peanut butter is what nuts and more spread is. They have some different flavors. My 2 favorite ones would be the birthday cake and the white chocolate. They taste really good. Just be careful because of some of the different flavors. Some of them do contain more sugar than you would with your traditional peanut butter. One thing I should add on before I continue is when it comes to peanut butter, always try and buy the natural peanut butter. Make sure the only ingredient that's in there is peanuts. That one's going to be best for you. The other peanut butters, like the peanut butter that you would use to make cookies, take a look at the ingredient list. Peanuts are not probably the first, second, they might be the third ingredient on there. Usually the first ingredient is icing sugar, and then the second ingredient is usually some type of oil that's in there. So when it comes to the peanut butter, almond butter, any type of butter, it's always best for you to choose the all natural kind. That way you're not getting all those preservatives and those extra sugars and calories and things that are added in there. So rice cakes, 1 or 2, or English muffin, just spread a little bit of nut butter, nuts and more on top. Rice cakes as well, just a side note, I do really, really love the caramel rice cakes, but one of the top ingredients on those is corn syrup, and corn syrup, we're not really going to get into corn syrup tonight, but corn syrup is not all that good for you. There's also a lot of extra sugar and stuff that are in those sweetened rice cakes. So I just find that it's best, and it's usually, tastes perfectly fine just to buy the plain ones, and then it's all about what you put on top. Put the peanut butter. You can even, if you'd like, put a little bit of jam on top of the peanut butter. Lots of different ideas that you can go with. Just make sure that you're reading and you're checking the ingredient labels and the nutrition facts. That's a big thing when you're buying things that are store-bought. After that, I have a 1/4 cup of almonds, or a small handful of almonds, with a fruit. So that fruit could be, I just wrote down a couple, apple, pears, bananas. You could also have some strawberries or a little bowl of blueberries or raspberries. I usually, suggest that berries and then like apples, pears, bananas are usually kind of the top of the list when it comes to fruit choices. So with the nuts or the almonds, you're getting a little bit of protein and your healthy fats, and then you're getting some carbohydrates and some sweetness with the berries. And just going back a step as well, I also really like eating the rice cakes with the nut butter as part of that's like usually what I have pre-workout as well. If I'm working out in kind of the afternoon or the evening before I eat dinner, I'll have rice cakes and peanut butter if I don't have the apple and peanut butter. After the almonds with fruit, I have a protein shake with fruit. So this one's really simple. You can, make up your protein shake in the morning. And by protein shake, I just mean protein powder mixed with water or milk. And you can bring that with you. You can store them separately as well. And then, so obviously with the protein powder, you're getting your protein. And then with the fruit, you're going to get some good carbohydrates. So same thing, apple, pear, bananas, or some berries. With the protein shake as well, sometimes you can make, as a snack, you can make a mini smoothie. So for example, the smoothies that we've been having for breakfast, you could basically cut that serving size in half and eat that as a snack. So half a scoop of protein, half the amount of spinach, half the amount of fruit or whatever you're putting in it. Basically just scale it down. Something that I really like to eat in the afternoon when I'm craving something sweet, especially if I'm craving chocolate, is I like to blend up chocolate protein powder with either water or almond milk and a little bit of peanut butter. And that gives me kind of that like Reese's peanut butter cup type of snack that's a lot healthier for you. So that the chocolate protein powder mixed with the all natural peanut butter. And then that also gives you a fat source as well if you add in the peanut butter there. Next up, I have a granola bar. Specifically, I wrote the Made Good granola bars. Made Good granola bars, they're literally made good. They have really good ingredients. They do contain hidden fruits and vegetable extracts within the granola bars. Just be careful if you have any allergies to any fruits or vegetables that you do check the ingredient label. For example, a lot of people are allergic to shiitake mushrooms, and there is shiitake mushrooms that are in the Made Good granola bars. There's also, I think, tomato as well that might be in there. So if you're allergic to any fruits or vegetables, just make sure you check the side of the box just to see what the ingredients are. But the Made Good granola bars are a really good option, especially for kids that aren't probably eating as much fruits and vegetables as you would like them to be eating. And then, so with the granola bar, that's obviously your carbohydrate source, but you can add in a tablespoon or two of nut or seed butter. You can kind of spread that on top of the granola bar if you'd like, or you can cut up some cheese and have that on the side. And the cheese, you're also going to get a little bit of protein with that. Hey, Ashley. All right, next up, we have, this is another one of my favorites. It's a little tuna melt. So take an English muffin, cut it in half, mix up a little bit of tuna and cheese. Place that on top of the tuna melt. You can also put like a slice of tomato on there. My mom and I, we like to put salsa on ours. Just sprinkle the cheese on top of that and then just place it under the broiler and let it all warm up and get toasty and melt down a bit. That makes a really good snack. I would probably for a snack maybe have half an English muffin with the tuna, cheese, and then tomato slice or salsa or whatever you'd like on top. But once again, that's giving you those three main things, especially the protein and the healthy fat sources that we're looking for. Next up, homemade muffin with Greek yogurt or a protein shake. So muffins are really tricky because they contain a lot of fats and sugar. If you go to the grocery store and you buy a package of the muffins that are in the bakery, you probably might have a little heart attack when you read the nutrition facts label. A lot of those muffins, you're getting up around 350 to like 600 calories. It's not pretty, even if you look at like the menus at Tim Hortons for their muffins or McDonald's for their muffins. So when it comes to like those types of things, homemade is the way to go. Muffins are super easy to make. You can find some really good brand muffin recipes. That's going to give you some good carbohydrates and some fiber there as well. With the brand muffin, fiber is filling. Fiber, of course, also helps keep you regular. You can also find some really good recipes for like low sugar chocolate chip muffins or anything like that. So homemade is definitely the way to go when it goes to when it comes to muffins, as well as with cookies. I do have a couple of healthy cookie recipes that are kind of scattered throughout my Instagram and Facebook news feeds. But of course, when I actually have time to sit down and bake, and I do usually try and bake like healthier things, I always like to take pictures and share recipes with you guys because I know you're always looking for healthier alternatives to especially baked goods and desserts. So along with your homemade muffin, you can also add in Greek yogurt or a protein shake just to help you get a little bit of a protein source in there. Yeah, Lindsay, I love the Made Good bars. They're so good. And yeah, and their Rice Krispie squares as well. They Made Good also has now these little granola bites that are really good as well, and lots of different flavors. And they're pretty, you know, for granola bars, they're pretty low sugar. So I do really enjoy the Made Good granola bars. I think I'm really happy. They're a little pricey compared to some of the other brands that are out there, but you're getting really good quality products, and I do believe they are a Canadian company. They were at the CNE this year. They had a huge booth. Like I think I walked by the booth maybe about 10 times to get samples while we were in the building there. But yeah, Made Good granola bars are really good. And if you guys have Costco memberships, you can get I've only seen the sweet and salty kind, but you can get a super large box of 24 made good granola bars at Costco, and it does save you quite a bit of money as opposed to just buying the small boxes in the grocery stores. All right. Oops. Okay, after our little muffin there, next up would be cottage cheese with mixed berry. Mixed berries, so we already kind of talked about like doing the yogurt with berries. Cottage cheese is basically the same thing. Cottage cheese just obviously gives you a little bit of different texture, different flavor, a little bit of it. It's still dairy that you're getting as your protein source. It's also going to give you some healthy fats. Cottage cheese is very high in protein as well, and you don't need a lot of it. Like a quarter a cup to half a cup is usually pretty filling. And then strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, whatever you want, combination of both sprinkled on top is usually a pretty good little snack. The next up, this is another one that I really like that makes good lunches or good kind of side dishes to, I should say good snacks or side dishes to lunches would be hard-boiled eggs with a slice of toast or an English muffin. So obviously with the eggs, that's your protein and your healthy fat source. And then with the English muffin or the slice of toast, you're getting a good carbohydrate source. Sprouted breads are usually really good. The sprouted breads are also usually a little less processed than the whole grain breads, or even, and of course, less processed than the white breads. I really like rye breads. There's a really good probiotic bread that's out there. It's got all these super healthy things in it. And, probiotics, we all probably could use more probiotics in our diet. So definitely look, of trying to avoid the white toast and opt in for those whole grains or these sprouted grain breads. And then next up would be some turkey or chicken slices. You can get some of the all natural nitrate free deli meat slices at the grocery store, or you can cook up some chicken breast or turkey breast and cut that up and then just eat that with some crackers. That's usually a good little snack. You can even add in some cheese to get some healthy fats. And second last one would be a low sugar protein bar. So protein bars are great because they're super good for on the go. Obviously really good post-workout. That's kind of what protein bars are made for, is post-workout. But because they're generally made for post-workout, protein bars usually do contain a lot of sugar. Some protein bars contain so much sugar that it's actually just better for you. Like, you might as well just eat a chocolate bar. So some of my favorite protein bars that are really low in sugar, Quest bars. Quest bars do contain a lot of fiber though. So if you find that you get bloated really easily, just just make yourself aware that because Quest bars have so much protein can make you bloated, and Quest bars also have a lot of fiber. Fiber can make you bloated. Depending on how your digestive system is and how much water you've drank that day, and there's a couple other factors in there. Quest bars, I do find sometimes can make you really bloated. So just be careful with the Quest bars, and that's just because they contain so much fiber in addition to the protein. But that's kind of what Quest bar has been known for, is for that high fiber, high protein bar that actually tastes good. Another one of my favorites is the Oh Yeah One bars. Specifically, I like the birthday cake and the cookies and cream and the chocolate chip cookie dough. That's really good. They contain not a lot of sugar and a good amount of protein. Pure Protein now also makes bars, and we saw an ad the other day. They make these little snack squares that are low sugar. And then another one that I didn't mention here, because I forgot, I just remembered, is the Susie Good Fat bars. So Susie Good Fat bars, they're exactly what they say. They contain a lot of good fats. They focus more on the kind of high fat, low carb diet. So they have all the healthy fats in there and lower in carbs, kind of moderate protein intake. So if you're eating a protein bar as a snack, really make sure it's not one that's loaded with a lot of sugar. If you're eating a protein bar post-workout, then you can kind of get away with having that increased amount of sugar. And then you can also add in, if you're with your protein bar, depending on how big it is. Maybe you just even eat half the protein bar. You can add in some almonds or some cashews, maybe a little bit of cheese, maybe a couple of crackers, something that's just going to add a little bit of satiety to the protein bar as well. And then the last one would be rice crackers or veggie crackers. There's some really good crackers out there on the market now that are made with vegetables, sweet potatoes, and beets are usually the most common ones. There's so many different things out there on the market now. Sometimes you just have to go to the grocery store and just walk down the aisle and take everything in. But that would be to have those with hummus, guacamole, tzatziki, what other kind of dip you like. This is the most important thing, and I've been mentioning it as we go through every snack, is to make sure you have your protein source. Protein takes a long time for your body to digest. Protein is harder for your body to break down. And because of that, usually protein is a little bit more satisfying to our bodies. So that's why it's not only important to include protein at every meal, especially that's why we have it at lunch, is to help us pull through the afternoon, but also, we eat it at dinner to help us get us through the evening and help our body repair and do all those awesome things that our body does while we're sleeping to kind of get us ready for the next day. That's why protein in snacks is also a really big thing, because that's going to keep you satisfied and help keep you full until the next meal. So you're not looking for another snack like an hour later. Healthy fats, same thing. Fats are also, take a lot of work by our body to break down. Fats help keep us full. Healthy fats are really good for our hair, our skin, our nails, all those types of things. So it's really good that we're providing those healthy fats to our body, especially if you find that your skin is dry, or if your eyes get really dry, you might not be getting enough healthy fats in your diet. So that might be one thing that you might want to up your healthy fats, or if you're not already, consider an omega-3 supplement. That's really good for eye health as well. And then carbohydrate source too. That's just to give you a little bit of energy. And then usually carbohydrates are sweet, especially when we talk about, like different types of fruits or even protein bars. That stuff usually helps, just kind of satisfy the cravings, because we feel like we're getting that little bit of sugar. You can as well, if you'd like, if you do feel like you're crashing hard and you do need a little bit of sugar to pick you up, dark chocolate as well, you can add an ounce or so into your snacks just to kind of help tie you over, because we're not restricting anything here. You can still have your chocolate, you can still have your occasional unhealthy muffin or your cookies here and there. It's not about restriction. It's just about doing these things in moderation and just practicing good habits and making sure that we're eating good snacks on a day-to-day basis. And then next thing you know, like sometimes I crave a peanut butter and apple slices. Why? Because the protein and the sugar and the stuff, like my body likes it. And if I go a while without having it, I find that I'm craving it. And once you get into that routine where it's just normal, your body likes it and it just adapts to it and it doesn't even think twice. Oh, the made good bars, or the balls were $2.99 at FreshCo. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Thanks, Lindsay. I'm gonna have to go check that out, because normally the made good bars, like I said, they're a little bit more pricier. Usually it depends on where you're buying them. They're usually sometimes $3.99, but usually $4.99 for a box. So $2.99 is a really good price. If you guys have any healthy snack ideas that you really enjoy, feel free to pop them in the comment box as well. Hopefully this helps give you guys a little bit of guidance when it comes to putting snacks together. And then once you kind of get into the habit of it, then your mind will really start to kind of wander, and you'll be able to just kind of come up with healthy snacks like that without even having to be like, think about it or be like, oh my God, what am I going to make for my snacks that's not going to, ruin my diet or completely throw me off track. So hopefully this list gets you a good start. And then once you kind of get into it, then you're going to be a pro at making healthy snacks. And, like I said, I experience with my apple and my peanut butter slices. If I go a while without having that, then I actually miss it and my body starts craving, it wants an apple with peanut butter on top of it. Tomorrow night is going to be our last kind of Facebook Live session. That will be day 5 of the challenge. This is the final day. We're going to do it a little bit earlier tomorrow night because it is Friday. So I'm hoping to do it at 7 p.m. I have a very important practical exam that I have been stressing out about all week. I have that tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock in Woodbridge. So I'm hoping that I'm home in time and ready to rock and roll at 7 p.m. For our Facebook Live session. Maybe 6:30 if that time works better for people. Tomorrow night, we're just going to wrap things up. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask them, get them answered. If you have any questions about how you can carry on with the information that you've been provided with this week, feel free to ask that as well. I'm also going to be talking a little bit more about the 8-week transformation program that I have coming up. I know a lot of you are really excited about that. With the transformation program, basically it's this challenge on steroids. This challenge is just a little snippet. The transformation program, you're going to get more individualized coaching, more one-on-one. We're still going to have our private Facebook group though, where we'll do Facebook Live coaching sessions where we'll dive in together and we can talk about different topics. I have a whole list of topics that I'm working on to cover over that 8-week time. And then because it'll be a little bit of a smaller group, things will be more individualized. You'll get one-on-one coaching check-ins with me. There is a ton of workouts that I've designed. The workouts you can do as is, or if you have any injuries, we will work together to make the workouts work for you. There's 3 different nutrition protocols. So depending on where you are with your nutrition habits, we will find which protocol you're currently in, and then we will basically try and advance you through the protocols, because each one gets a little bit more specific and helps you dial in even that much more on your nutrition to kind of help you reach those goals. There is another recipe book. This recipe book though features 30 recipes. I'm just trying to remember, my brain's a little fuzzy, but I don't really think I duplicated any recipes between the 2 recipe books. I might have done a couple or so, but that would be 30 recipes in addition to the 18 that you already have. There's also home and travel workouts. So if you don't belong to a gym, there's workouts that you can do at home. I know there's at least one person who's going to be going on vacation during the 8 weeks. There is travel workouts, so she'll be able to still do her workouts while she's on the road. There's so much stuff that's kind of pressed into the 8-week challenge, and I keep adding things to it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow night, and we're just going to wrap up kind of what we've done this week, talk about what we've noticed, do we feel better, what's some challenges that we face, and we're going to try and basically work through them together. So that'll be tomorrow night, hopefully between 6:30 and 7 p.m., as long as I don't get stuck in traffic on my way home from my exam or fail miserably and I'm too sad to come on here. We will be going tomorrow night at 6:30 or 7 p.m. When I know an exact time, I'll post it in the group and I'll send out an email as well. I just want to thank you guys for joining in tonight. And if, like I said, even when the video is over, if you have any healthy snack ideas or any questions about anything that I mentioned, please feel free to write them in the comment box. I will see you later and enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.